Hi everyone, my name is John Paul, and welcome to my presentation. Today, here I have my very own project, and I'll be walking you through my employee shift scheduler and payroll estimator app, which I built using the Google Opal and AppSheet. This application was created to address rule scheduling and payroll challenges that small businesses face on a daily basis. So I made it to make it easier for managers and anyone who's dealing with schedules to make it super simple for them and not having to be really stressful. Many businesses struggle with managing employee hours, creating consistent schedules, and calculating accurate payroll totals, especially when employees have different rates, varying availability, or unexpected changes like vacation days. My app provides an automated solution that solves time, improves accuracy, and increases transparency for both managers and employees. So whether someone has a different situation for a different schedule, it could be resolved in a snap. But throughout my presentation, I will explain the overall process of the app, show how it was technically built from the data structure to the formulas, and walk through three realistic scenarios demonstrating how the app responds to different scheduling situations. These scenarios will help show how the app calculates hours, identifies overtime, and produces payroll estimate automatically. And if someone was to have vacation time or how to modify a simple shift, then it will be shown. I will also conclude with a reflection on what I learned during the development process, the challenges I encountered, and improvements I would make in the future. My goal is to give you a clear understanding how the app works and how it could be used in a real business environment. On slide one, this slide introduces the core idea of the project and the reason this app was created. The purpose of this app is to help small businesses automate the process of assigning employee shifts and calculating payroll estimates in a faster and more accurate way than just doing it by scratch. That could lead to information to be not correct at the end of the day. Many small businesses still rely on paper schedules, handwritten notes, or basic spreadsheets, which not only take extra time to manage but also create room for mistakes, miscommunication, and inconsistent payroll calculations. When schedules change or employees take off, managers have to redo calculation manually, which can be frustrating if inefficient if not done correctly. So what my app is going to do is eliminate those issues by automatically calculating total hours worked, hourly wage multipliers, overtime pay, and weekly earnings based on the employee's assigned shifts. The app updates instantly whenever new information is added, meaning managers always have an accurate view of their labor costs and employee schedules. Throughout this presentation, I will be demonstrating how this app functions behind the scenes, how the data and formulas work together, and how each scenario highlights the practicality and reliability of the system for a real world business use. Now, on this slide, I explain exactly how the app was built using Google Opal and AppSheet. The foundation of the app is created through three main tables in Google Sheets, which were employees, shifts, and payroll. These tables act as a backing database that AppSheet pulls from. The employees table includes essential information such as employee names, hourly pay rates, unique employee IDs, and availability. This allows the app to identify each worker and automatically apply the correct rate when calculating payroll. The shifts table is where all assigned shifts are stored. Each row represents a single shift and includes the date of the shift, start time, end time, and a virtual column that automatically calculates the number of hours worked. For this calculation, I used the formula end time minus start time times 24, which is basically 24 hours. This converts time values into real numerical hours, which the app can you then use for payroll calculation. The payroll table pulls up all this information together by summarizing total weekly hours and estimated pay for every employee. All three tables are connected through a shared employee ID, allowing AppSheet to correctly link each shift to correct employee and ensure the payroll calculations are accurate. To total weekly hours, I use the AppSheet sum and select expressions, which gather every shift's assigned to a specific employee. After that, the hourly rate is multiplied by total hours to generate an accurate payroll estimate. This automation minimizes the chance of human error and saves managers a significant amount of time. Finally, the app's dashboard ties everything together visually. It includes a calendar that displays all employee shifts, a payroll summary table, and individual employee detail pages. One of the biggest strengths of the app is what whenever any data such as shift times, rates, or availability is updated, the dashboard recalculates instantly. This ensures that managers always have an up-to-date information without needing to redo anything manually. As you can see, here this is the workflow diagram that outlines how the app functions and how information moves through the system. The process begins with collecting all necessary inputs. These inputs include employees' availability, the specific hours of each shift, the employee's hourly wage, and the dates that make up the worksheet. All these information is entered into the app through simple forms, which ensures that managers can input data quickly and accurately without having to manually calculate anything themselves. Once the information is entered, AppSheet immediately processes it. The app uses the built-in formula and expressions we created to automatically generate the shift schedule and calculate each employee's total weekly hours. AppSheet also identifies if there was any differences with the schedules, like overtime hours when an employee exceeds 40 hours in a week, and applies the time and a half. It automatically applies the time and a half multiplier. This means that the payroll estimates are always accurate, even when schedules vary from week to week. After the calculations are completed, everything moves into the interactive schedule builder on the dashboard. This is where the visual side of the app comes to life, where managers can view shifts on a calendar, see weekly payroll summaries, and verify employee schedules in a clean, organized layout. Employees can also view their schedules here, allowing them to easily check when they work and how their works are assigned. And every day it shows the hour that they're going to be, the rate that they're going to be paying per hour. This overall workflow ensures that the app remains consistent, organized, and reliable from the beginning to the end. Every step from input to calculation to visualization happens automatically, reducing the risk of human error and saving the business valuable time. By following this workflow, the app delivers a professional, streamlined scheduling and payroll system that a small business can depend on. So before I show you scenario one on a real world example, basically going step by step on how to enter the app and how to input information, this is the scenario that's going to be shown. Basically, in this scenario, Justin Laura works a standard Monday through Friday schedule, totaling 40 hours. So he does not exceed 40 hours, no overtime is applied, and his payroll is calculated using only his regular hourly rate, which his hourly rate is 23, and the schedule types regular. His hours per day is 8 hours, and he totals a weekly of 40 hours, and an estimated pay of 920. Now, in this, what I'm gonna show you next is in a step by step on how we're gonna see how Justin's schedule just comes out. To get a regular schedule for one person at least. So this is our beginning page where it's gonna start off, and then it's the shift and pay. All you gotta do is click start. Here's going to say enter the employee availability and an example of the name and the days that they're going to be able to work. So for the first scenario, I'm going to just put Justin Laura. And then he works Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, right? And then specify desired shift duration. So like I said, everyone doesn't work the same hours in a job. So here you're going to put 4-8, but since he works 9 to 5, including break, it's going to be 8 hours. And then input employee hourly rates. So we just throw it out. We just put 23, and then final work period. So we could just put the first week of January. And then once you give it about a minute or so, it will pop up the exact same schedule that you wrote basically. And just like that, this prevents a lot of mistakes and misinformation being spread through managers, as this will do it all for them. So it just takes a while. All right, so here we have the overview of exactly what we inputted. So it's gonna give an accurate estimate of the beginning year. So we're assuming the 1st of January is gonna be a Thursday. Shows the 9 to 5, 8 hours. Thursday, Friday, then Saturday, Sunday he doesn't work, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday he does. And this is the estimated gross pay that he will be earning. And then down here it will show that he works 40 hours and his hourly rate is 23. So like this, you could do many people one by one, giving them their own schedule, and it will show them exactly what they're making, their hours shown, the shifts that they have, the employee name, and the days and the dates. Just like this, less problems can be made, and it'll be so much easier for every manager. And again, before going to scenario 2, in the real example, this is going to be an overhead example of what I'm going to be showing. In this scenario, Justin Laura's on vacation from Tuesday to Thursday. He works only Monday and Friday, totaling 16 hours of the week. Because he does not reach 40 hours, no overtime applies, and his pay is based solely on reduced working hours. So again, as a manager, anyone who has vacation time, it will be difficult. Just do it manually. This app, I'm gonna show you how it's super simple. That just because he works Monday through Friday and he has vacation Tuesday to Thursday, how everything will be deducted and reduced, and everything's going to show in one simple schedule and estimated payroll, and the employee breakdown on why he's getting paid 16 hours instead of the 40 hours. So once you're done with a schedule, you just click the refresh page and it's going to show up here. So for the second scenario, what we're going to be doing is something different. It's, let's say, like I mentioned earlier as well, how if an employee is going to ask for like a vacation, and someone's gonna have to alternate the schedule, and everyone knows by putting in by hand can just be super obnoxious, and information could be wrong. So again, we click start, and again with the availability. So we put same person, right? And then we go to we put Monday through Friday. Again, 9 to 5. But let's say this person has vacation, but this person but has vacation. Let's say Tuesday to Thursday, right? Again, he does his typical 8 hours. He did typical 23 hours. And again, we're gonna put the same week, first week of Jan. And again, this way is going to be so much easier because again, for a manager, it's going to be a lot of employees going to be coming up to him or her and going to be asking for a lot of modifications in their schedules, whether it's they're calling out, they're requesting some vacation days on specific days. This app will do everything in in a fast manner to the point that it'll be no worry. The managers will be like, okay, that's fine, and just continue to do this app, and the schedule will just come out itself. And like that, they don't have to do a whole process manually and having to go from one schedule to another. No, they just go to this app and just type it again, and it comes out the schedule, and so the employee has their schedule, and so does the manager with the vacation off and any modifications that has to be made. Again, just give it a second and everything will be shown. But yeah, this app is just beneficial for every business out there. So as we see here, it came out with everything on Justin's vacation hours. So he works the Monday and Friday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It shows his vacation. Has a 2 days off, which is Saturday and Sunday. Has 3 days, which is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. It shows that he works 16 hours instead of 40 hours, and that he would be making 368 instead of the original 920. Like this, it will be so much easier for any modifications to be made in schedules that managers can just simply just input and it'll do it all for themselves. So for scenario 3, it's going to be a little more complicated. And this is where it's going to be both of every employee that a business would have. So let's say for this scenario, I put that this business has three employees. One was Justin Laura, Sebastian Lopez, and David Perez. In this scenario, the app manages multiple employees with different hourly rates, schedules, and total weekly hours. Justin works a standard 40-hour week. Sebastian works a full 7-day schedule with overtime pay, and David works a shorter midweek schedule. The app calculates all hours and payroll estimates automatically based on each employee's rate and schedule. So as shown, everyone has their own different rates, values, everything. Justin works Monday through Friday, Sebas works full week, and David works basically 3 days. Just like that, this app, you put everything, you put all this information, and it will just calculate everything for you. And that's when it's going to be shown in the next. for now, scenario 3, again, click the restart. And for scenario 3, basically it's multiple people in one schedule. So again, if it's a manager that would have to make has a lot of employees, it'll be difficult to just go one by one by one by one manually, because it'll just take forever. This app, again, you click start, and then for scenario 3, it's the same person, just Laura, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and then there was another person, Sebastian Lopez, working Monday through Sunday. Pretty sure it was 10 to 4. And then David Paris, working. Let me open up this scenario again, see to make sure. Tuesday, Thursday. Thursday. 1 to 5. Okay. So let's say the manager only has 3 employees. Write the schedule and the availability and the name. The shift durations. So again, it'll be 8 hours, 6 hours, and 4 hours. So just 8 hours. Sebastian, 6 hours. And David, 4 hours. Right? And then their wage. Again, Justin was 23. Sebastian was 21. 23. 21. 19. Right? And again, we're going to put first week of Jan. 1 through 7. So, another thing with this app, you'd like to be very specific on the person that you're going to be doing. So, like I said, it was 3 different people, and for every single thing I had to write, which was the availability, the hourly rate, and the duration of the shift, I specifically wrote their names. That's another thing you have to do, is specifically write their names, because if not, it was just mixing with everyone else. But again, this app would be so much easier for any manager, just because it wouldn't interfere with their time. It would just go simple as that. Better than having to go manually and doing it over and over and over and over again for, imagine, 100 employees. Just like this, a person has 100 employees. It's a little tedious. You just gotta write the names, and after you're writing the names for every single section, then you click generate, and then just wait a couple of seconds like always, and then the whole thing is gonna pop up. And just like that, this app is beneficial for a small business to a very large business. It's a magic. Just give it a sec. There you go, and just like that, we have everyone's schedule for the day. So we're going to start out with the right section. This is the estimated payroll for everyone combined, to know how much is going to be taking out of the business and going into every single employee. Here's going to be the time period, and then the payroll, which it like it will divide everyone's. So Justin's is 920, Sebas works 42, the 882, then David works 12 hours, 222. And just like that, every drop down is um the duration of the shifts, right? Then you go left, and here's gonna be basically the schedule, the main schedule for any person to look at. Thursday, you see that all three of them working. Friday, just them two. Saturday, Sunday, just Sebas. Same here, same here, and same here. Just like this, it'll be so much easier just for a business to have an amount of employee put it in right here, and then it will just come out for every single person to be in the business. After all the scenarios are shown, this is my reflection portion of the project. I learned a great deal about how powerful low code tools like AppSheet can be when it comes to automating real business problems. Before this project, I understood the basic idea of app creation, but I did not fully realize how important the combination of data structure, formulas, and table relationships really is. As I built the app, I saw firsthand how each piece of data connects to everything else and how a single mistake in structure can affect every calculation. This helped me appreciate how essential it is to plan out the back end before designing the front end. I also learned how AppSheet interprets times, dates, and numerical field differently which forced me to think more carefully about the column types and formatting. These details became especially important when calculating hours worked and weekly payroll totals. Yeah, I encountered several technical challenges throughout the process that pushed me to troubleshoot more deeply when I expected. One major challenge was time formatting, like the times as fractions of the day, so I had to learn how to convert those values into real working hours. Another challenge involved setting up virtual columns that calculate hours, total weekly work time, and overtime. At first, you know, entering the app, nothing would show up correctly until I kept playing around and every formula decided to just work on its own, really. If I were to improve that further, there would be several features I would add to make it more useful and professional. One improvement would be adding, an automatic push notification so employees receive alerts when schedules change or when a new shifts are in sight for a new week. Another enhancement would be allowing employees to submit their availability directly into the app rather than having managers enter manually. I would also implement um, more advanced labor cost so to report to the managers so they can see the total payroll expense for a week or a month, along with charts that show trends over time. These improvements would make the app function more like a full workplace management system, but for now, it's like a ongoing process. Overall, this project significantly strengthened my understanding of app development, problem solving, data automation. It showed me how technology can simplify everyday business tasks like scheduling and payroll, which are normally time consuming and prone to mistakes, which when when they're done manually. By building this app from the ground up, I gained experience in designing systems that are not only functional but practical and user friendly. This project gave me a much deeper appreciation for how digital tools can improve businesses' operations, and it motivated me to continue to explore ways to build solutions that make work easier and more efficient. And this app, I feel, could be very beneficial for a lot of people out there with any type of business. And just like that, this includes my presentation of the app that I designed on All Sheet. The app is called Employee Shift Scheduler and Payroll Estimator. Thank you for watching, and I hope this project clearly demonstrated the functionality, usefulness, and the impact of the app, and how it would be so much easier if this app was out and about than having managers have been putting things manually. Thank you.